Today we are going to talk about the Braun foldable underhood light. I just picked this up. It's 2,000 lumens. I've had it for, well, a couple days, I guess. I had to get it at a Harbor Freight, probably about an hour away from my house. Like, I didn't specifically go there for this, but I was in the area and decided to check stock. I've got like 6 Harbor Freights next to me. This hasn't been in stock at my Harbor Freights in, I couldn't even tell you how long. And then once they went 40% off, I knew that my chances of finding one were pretty slim. So I was kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and they had a Harbor Freight, and they happened to have 2 of these in stock. So I picked it up. It's got 3 modes on it. I'm not exactly sure why it has strobe mode on it. Kind of weird for being an underhood light. But I mean, I guess, you know, I've seen reviews that people use these as light bars on their side-by-sides. I was thinking of using it on my gooseneck trailer and just clipping it onto the back when I need a light at night when I'm loading or unloading stuff. The strobe part, I mean, I guess if you were using it for Halloween and hanging it from your gutter, I guess I could see that being useful. Yeah, it is a lithium-ion battery, rechargeable. It says the battery works while charging. There's mixed reviews about whether it works or not. I plugged mine in, and mine does work when it's charging, but only the low setting and the strobe setting. The high setting does not work when it's charging. So I don't know if that'll change, because on my Husky here, I've got 2 USB ports, and I'm sure that those are probably 1 amp, maybe 1.2 amps. I'd have to get down there and actually look to see if it says it, but maybe if you're using a higher amperage block, it might work on high. I'm not sure. But the other thing I want to talk about is the runtime. So all the reviews on Harbor Freight's website, like the 1, the 2-star, and even some of the 5-star, there's not a lot of reviews compared to other products they sell, but everybody's complaining that they're not getting 11 hours out of it. That on high, you know, they might get 2 hours. One guy said that he gets the 3 or 4 hours on high, but it starts dimming out after an hour. I mean, I can't speak to that because I haven't used like a full battery on this thing yet, but it does say right on the box, high 2,000 lumens 3 hours, low 1,000 lumens 11 hours. So I mean, that is kind of misleading that they put that in the big print, but I just want to show in the instructions too, and I know a lot of people probably don't really read instructions, but it says approximate 3 hours on high, 11 hours on low, and let me see, zoom in on this a little bit. It says the charge time is 5 hours. There's a little asterisk, depends on your USB port. So I know like my Silverado, the USB port puts out 30 amps in the dashboard. So that's like a super fast charge. So when I plug my phone into that, if it's dead, it's charged in like 15 minutes. They do recommend using at least a 5-volt DC power block sold separately. If you're only using the ones that come with your phone, those are only like 2 volts. Maybe I've seen 2.5 volts. That's for a fast charge. So if you're only using half of what they're recommending, then yeah, the people that are complaining that it's taken 10 or 12 hours to charge, well, sure, you're not feeding it the 5 volts. So they're saying at 5 volts, it's going to take you 5 hours to charge it. Now, I know that my power strips in the house behind the couch, they've got USB-C and the USB-A. They're only putting out like 1.2 volts each. If you're only using one of them, one will put out 2.5 volts. But if you're using both USB-A or the USB-C in any conjunction like that, it's not putting out 2 volts per one. So I think if you charged it in your truck, this time would probably go down. I think if you specifically got USB-C to USB-C, plug for it and the power block, that it would definitely take 5 hours or less. So just something to think about. Like, I feel like the people that are complaining about how long it takes to charge this thing are using the cord that came with it, and they're just plugging into their cell phone charger, which, you know, I do that too, but that's why I feel like it's taking so long. Another one of the complaints on it is the fact that the lights, when you fold it, are facing out. So I was looking at it, and I feel like I could fix that. I could take this apart. The wire is pinched in here, and just flip them around. But if you do that, I'll set up my pod here. And I'll just kind of... So there's like this magnetic little clip here that, you know, holds it together. Well, now that will be facing out. So, I mean, it's spring loaded. It'll hold together, but I don't know. I don't know why that seems like a big deal, you know. And the other thing I want to say too, like, I feel like the reason that it does it is like, so the head on this thing, you know, you can put it any way you want. This rotates and it clips in. But if you're in your garage, sorry for the camera, right? And it turns on, folded up, right? So let's just go out here. So here we are out in the garage. It does work folded up, but I feel like the reason they did it isn't so much that it was an oversight. You can hang that from anything folded up, and now you have a lantern. And I mean, it's not a full 360 degrees of light, but there's enough light shining off the side of it that you're not going to have any issues with it. And because people are upset that the lights are facing in, but I don't really see that as an issue. And again, I mean, yeah, it might get scratched up, but what are you doing to this thing that it, I mean, unless you drag it down the road, a couple scratches on there isn't gonna like totally make this thing stop from being useful. But yeah, so you could take this off of here, flip these around in this base. This base is spring loaded, and then they can face in if that's what you want, but I don't have a problem with them facing the way that they are. So the other thing, I haven't used it extensively, but my thought on the battery, back to the battery, I do transitional pieces very well, and right now we're back to batteries. If you're only getting, let's say, 2 hours out of it, 2.5, you know, an hour and a half at full and starts to dim out, like, I'm not a mechanic, I'm a do-it-yourselfer, and that's kind of what Harbor Freight, you know, the Braun line is really like geared towards. I mean, I do see professionals say that they use them. Like, one guy said he's got 2 of them. So one's on charge, he's using one. When the other one dies, he takes this off of charge because of how expensive the snap-on ones are. And he could buy 3 of these for what the snap-on costs. So, okay, I mean, it's not a bad idea. But as a non-mechanic, if I'm doing something under my hood, and I know things go sideways, but if I'm doing something under my hood and it's taking me longer than this light lasts as a home YouTube mechanic, then I'm getting into something and doing something that I probably shouldn't have been doing, and I probably should have been paying somebody that knows what they're doing to do it. So, I mean, if you're doing a motor swap yourself and you're into that kind of stuff, okay, this light might not be for you. But for changing out a battery, changing out an air filter, changing your serpentine belt, maybe you're doing an alternator, you know, things that homeowners can do that, you know, if messing around, taking your time, you know, doing an alternator, you're not in a hurry. Okay, you're an hour into it, an hour and 20 minutes into it. But if you're in a hurry and, you know, the truck's down and you got to get it done, like, you can hustle, and even an inexperienced person can get an alternator thrown in a truck in a half an hour, you know, assuming you don't have to keep walking back and forth to your toolbox. But so yeah, so with regards to the battery, if this thing isn't lasting long enough for you, then either you're trying to do something with it that you shouldn't be, or you're doing something that you shouldn't be. So, I mean, that's just my thought on it. I know that's why I'm me and you're you. You can hate what I said, that's fine. You don't have to like everything everyone says on YouTube, but I feel like the people that are complaining about the length of the battery are are just trying to do stuff with it that they shouldn't be doing with it. That being said, what I might do, I might try making a video. So in here, if you have to remove the battery to throw it away, it shows you how to get the cover off of it. It tells you how to open it, and it shows you what wires to cut. So you can remove the lithium ion battery and throw it away. So I kind of have two thoughts about this. My first thought is, like with my GoPro, I have the 7 Silver, which is, it's not a removable battery. It sucks. And that's like one of the downfalls of like this GoPro. I have 2 of them. One of them, the battery was starting to crap the bed in it. So I bought a Chinese lithium replacement battery that was actually bigger than the battery that was in it, but it fit. All the reviews online said that it would fit in there, no problems. So the runtime on my other GoPro, now it's not waterproof anymore. I don't use it a whole heck of a lot. It was the main one I used, so the battery crapped the bed. Now I'm using the one I'm using now as kind of my main one, so that's kind of like the backup, but the battery lasts a lot longer. So I'm thinking if you open this up, you could probably get the numbers off of it and go right on eBay and get, probably from the same Chinese warehouse, a bigger battery that would last longer in this thing. But the other thing I'm thinking is if you get the Snap-on one, they sell a adapter, so you don't have to use the Snap-on battery. So like me, I'm all DeWalt. If I got one of those, I would get the DeWalt adapter. So you put the adapter on, so the one side is the Snap-on battery, clips on there, then it'll take your DeWalt battery. So, and again, back to battery, sorry, that's the other thing I wanted to mention. The professional ones aren't lasting all day on one charge. If you're using an 8, a 10, or a 5, let's say a 5 amp hour battery, because that's pretty heavy hanging over your head with those Snap-ons, they're changing their batteries 2 or 3 times a day if the thing's on all day. So it's not like those batteries last forever. You know, this would be equivalent to, what is this? This is a 7200 milliamp hour battery. So, I mean, that would be like a 5 amp hour battery. Well, just under an 8 amp hour battery for a DeWalt battery. So the Snap-on ones aren't lasting any longer off a battery charge than these are. The only thing is you can change the battery out. So now back to what I was saying. I want to see if I can take the adapter apart, tap into the wires, cut this battery out, and tie these leads into the adapter. So so you would take this cover plate, drill a hole through it, have the wires come out, take the back off the part for the Snap-on, tie the wires into that, and then just mount that to this somehow, like either with, you know, a couple screws, glue it, a bungee cord, whatever, and then put that Snap-on to DeWalt or Snap-on to Milwaukee, whatever, adapter onto this thing and have it mounted there. And now, instead of having an internal battery that you have to charge, you could use your DeWalt batteries right on the adapter. So I'm thinking that that's probably possible, because when you replace these batteries in anything, like I have like a remote control helicopter, and you have the batteries come with just the 2 leads sticking off of it, no clip, so you have to cut the other one off and solder it into there in order to plug that in. It was the same thing with my dash cam, because I have older dash cams that use batteries for like the parking sensor and stuff. So I don't have the 12-volt constant hooked up. You got to do the same thing. And it's just the 2 leads coming off the circuit board. So I don't see why you couldn't probably take, there's probably 3 wires. Maybe only 2, but there's probably your positive, your negative, and then there might be like a circuit board, like overheat protector. So sometimes you'll see they have 3 leads, and the white wire is usually because the circuit board in here has like an overheat protection on it so that these batteries don't swell up. So if it's getting hot when it charges, it'll stop the charge until the battery cools down. So, I mean, I haven't opened it up. This doesn't really say how many wires are in here, but I'm thinking you might be able to open this up, mount one of those adapters to it, and then start using your DeWalt battery on it. But Other than that, I mean, I'm happy with it. The thing's super bright. It comes with a fairly long USB-A to USB charger. But yeah, so just some of the things to think about. Oh, and the other thing too, one last thing before I go. There's a lot of reviews on there that people are complaining they don't fit like Honda Civics or little Toyota Corollas. So Braun has two of these, two sizes. One is like the 845 lumen, and those ones, when you go on there, people are complaining that they don't fit under truck and SUV hoods. Well, it says right on it here, fits most SUV truck hoods. So this one, I feel, is geared towards the SUV and trucks, which is why they specifically say that on there. And then the smaller one is geared towards the cars. Because if you got a big truck like you see here, the truck hood, how high up the light is because of how high the hood opens. Well, if you're in a little Honda Civic, that hood don't open very far, so you don't need 2,000 lumens blasting you in the face. 845 lumens is going to be plenty enough to light that up. So just another thing I just wanted to mention, that if you're looking at getting one of these, just know that it fits most SUV truck hoods. It doesn't say on here perfect for Hondas or great for Toyotas. So I mean, this is geared towards working on bigger vehicles. So that's just another thing to think about too. If you have a smaller car, the reviews on there that say it won't fit. But they make another one of these. It's non-foldable. It's like 845 lumens. It's like half the cost of this one. And that's the one that you're going to want to get for putting on your car. The Icon one too as well. People are complaining that that doesn't open wide enough to fit on trucks. So that's another option. If you want something brighter, it's more expensive than this one. But that one, I guess, is geared more towards cars as well. But yeah, so this is the light, and yeah, I guess I could probably real quick here show it opening up. So it's spring loaded in the hinge here, so it's kind of like right there, it grabs and it'll sit like that. So I mean, I don't know if you're doing something outside, and I don't know why the hell you'd ever need it to do that, or maybe if you're trying to get the light further down. So I mean, hey, there you go. I guess if you want to use it on your Honda Civic, because these swivel around like this. Hey, let me grab the camera back up. So there you go. You could put it into V mode, and maybe that would work for you. I don't know, but yeah, that's kind of funny. So. But it does sit, so there's little clicks and like notches in here. So as you move it down, it clicks into the notch. So that's kind of like how it holds itself open, I guess, when it's underneath the hood with a little bit of tension. So I don't know if you can hear it, like it clicking in. So it's actually only got that and that. So it clicks in the middle to hold itself up, and then it goes all the way down. It's pretty heavy duty. I mean, it's decent. These springs are like really, I mean, you really got to put some force into these. So my suggestion would be to grab the hood one side with this, and then while it's holding onto that, come over to the other side and pull this side out to fit on your hood. And then once you get it in there, you can kind of probably slide it back and forth to, you know, depending on how big your hood is. I don't have an issue with it, and it extends out pretty far. I got a Duramax that I use it on. It's raining right now, or I'd go out there and show you, but I did put it on there just to try it. And then this, I don't know if you can, let me see if this is picking this up in here. Yeah, you see the wire down in there? So the wire is kind of pinched in this like little, it comes out and kind of goes down and then back up, and it's like pinched in here. So let me see, what side is this? Is it, yeah, so the power comes out of here, It comes down and into this, and then into this one is how this one gets power. It's a real little clip. I did take this apart because I wanted to flip it around, and just be careful because it's a chintzy little clip and it's glued. For some reason they're glued into each side, so you're not getting it apart, you're destroying it is what you're going to do. And then once I got this, because you can switch it around, it will fold up so that the lights are facing in, but again, I didn't think about this here. And I took the 4 screws out because I thought I could flip this around, but no, this tension bar goes all the way through this light. It's connected down here. The big spring tension is in here, so there's no way to flip. You can't pull this out to flip it around because you'd have to take all of this apart, and I just know that once this spring is sprung that this thing is ruined. So I just put it back together. I'm leaving it the way it is, like this. But yeah, if you want the lights to face in, you don't care about the little clip holding it together, you can take these 2 out. This thing's going to pop apart because this is spring loaded, right? Put the 2 back together, so it's got to be in, you want it in, come on, thing. Sorry about the camera. Let me get the light off here. So you want it in this position when you do it. All right, so you take the 2 screws out here. I think they're a Torx. So you take the 2 Torx out. When you get the second one apart, this thing's gonna pop loose. And then you just switch these around, and then you gotta squeeze this back together in the holes and start 1 screw. Once you get it started, you can let it go, and then this will draw back together. And then you can have it so the lights face in. But like I said, it's, you know, it's not gonna clip together, so if that's the deal breaker, it's still gonna match up like this, but it's just not gonna hold itself together, and you're gonna have that nipple sticking off of it. But just be aware of that if you decide to switch it around. Like I said, I have no problems with it sticking out like this after I thought about it and realized that now you can use it as a lantern. So I might actually take this camping with me, because that'll be meant for the awning. You know, you can just hang this thing right from like the crossbar on the awning. So you're sitting at the picnic table, it's lighting it up, but it's not blasting you in the eyes. So yeah, I just thought about that now. So yeah, this thing might be going camping with us. But anyways, I've rambled more than I should. So if you have any questions or comments about it, go ahead and leave them in the comments section. And hey, if you'd like to subscribe, you don't have to hit the notifications. You don't like my videos, that's fine. You don't have to get notifications, but at least hit the subscribe button for me. Help me out. I'd appreciate it. Thanks.